Guys, it's me, Fibro Chick again, and today I'm here to talk to you about sleep. The lack of, or the too much of. I have always had, since getting my fibro, a problem with sleep. I'd fall asleep quite regularly anywhere. My friends and my partner took me to a race weekend. By the end of it, I was asleep in the stalls with the Formula sounding cars going round, out like a light. Because the thing with fibromyalgia is when it wants to stop you and knock you out, it will. And that is your body's way of saying you're too tired and there's nothing left. So it just knocks you out. And at the beginning of the fibromyalgia, because your body is working so hard and because it really doesn't understand what's going on, your brain's working very hard to try and get around it, you get more fatigued. And it's not just tired, it is fatigue. It's like if you've watched children when they're so tired and nothing's going to keep them awake. When they're done, they're done. And that is very, very similar to fibromyalgia. When you're done, you're done. But then you can't sleep at night. And that is worse. So sleeping during the day and when the fibromyalgia knocks you out, I don't really have a lot of advice for, really. I let it happen. If by the weekend I've had it and my body's put me to sleep at 1:30 on a Saturday afternoon on the sofa, I have to go with it. There's no control. So just go with it. When your body needs to just go with it. And now I'm sort of, I am sort of over 10 years into it now, if you like. I've learnt to accept that. And it's also decreased. At the beginning, it was a lot. There was a lot of sleeping. There was a lot of broken sleep. There was a lot of falling asleep in places. There was a lot of feeling like your body is just wiped out. There was a lot of that. Like I say, your body's getting used to it and it doesn't know what's going on. Which is why then you've got to put in plans and routines and learn to live with fibromyalgia. Not fight it. You can't fight it. Live with it. Deal with it. But sleeping at night and being a real issue. Okay? Now, I'm going to tell you what they recommend. And what is recommended, like with children, good sleep hygiene. Has anybody heard of that before? If you haven't, sleep hygiene is the good practice of routines to get you off to sleep and to give you better quality of sleep. The example of children comes into play very much on this level. We bath them, get them in their pyjamas, read them a story, sit with them, maybe they have an hour of TV time. Whatever that routine is, brush your teeth, wash your face, go to bed. Book, bed, milk, bed, that sort of routine, whatever that routine is, works. Because then children every day are consistently, well, not every day, okay, I appreciate that children have their moments, but the point is that children don't get overtired and it affects your behaviour when you are overtired. We know that if we've been around children. My nieces and nephews, I don't have any kids of my own, but I used to childmind, and yeah, nieces and nephews, and when they are overtired, guys, they are nightmares. It's not nice. You don't feel good when you're overtired, so you don't behave as well. And it's the same with us when we're overtired as adults. We don't behave as well. We're no good the next day, or not as good the next day. And this goes for everybody, not just people with fibromyalgia. Sleep hygiene applies to everybody, and we're all rubbish. So you've got to be better with it. And it's very hard as adults to establish a routine, okay? I am really, really bad. It's almost like the blind leading the blind here, because I'm not great. But when I've got my sleep hygiene routines done, dusted, up to scratch, I'm doing them for a little while, it does make things a lot better. So we're going to talk about that routine. That routine can be anything that you want. For me, it's having supper. So, bowl of cereal, cup of tea, glass of warm milk, some fruit, bit of supper. And getting into my pyjamas, into my onesie, doing my face, having a nice wash. And then I have a little bit of TV time. Just a little bit. And then I decide I'm going to bed. So when I get into bed, I'm in my jammies. I take off my onesie because I've got cooler jammies for underneath. So I get into my cooler jammies and I get into bed and I read. Not for very long. It's usually only about 20 minutes these days. Since I had my eye surgery, they're getting very tired. So guys, I probably need some reading glasses. Never mind. That's another story. So I read whatever I like, really. At the moment, I'm reading the Beatles. But it could be horror, it could be crime, it could be fantasy, magazine, something like that. But not one of these. Not a phone. Okay, which is naughty. Some of us play games before we go to bed, and it's naughty because these things, I'm just holding it, I'm not referring to, I'm sorry, I'm such a fraud, but these things let out blue light. Blue light is very disruptive and very stimulating for the brain. So iPads away, phones away, and I'll read my book. And then my eyes get a bit tired. I settle into bed and I read a story tape. Okay, I like them. Okay, it could be an audio CD, not an audio cassette, but I've got a particular tape that I don't want to let go of. I love the stories, even though it's a little chewed. So put that on, preferably something long, so that I fall asleep before it's finished. And that helps to distract my mind. Biggest thing about us is mind gremlins when you go to sleep. So if you've got that distraction, I listen to the story, and it's the same sort of analogy as a child being read a story before they go to sleep. Relaxing, sends me off. Some people could choose a radio if they wanted, but that's my particular sleep hygiene routine. It doesn't have to be anything major, but I've spoken to other people, and one particular lady I spoke to, wonderful lady, her particular sleep regime was at about 9 o'clock, after she'd taken her tablets, she got herself into her pyjamas, did a hot water bottle, this was every night, soaked her feet, and then when she got into bed, she wrote her daily journal or diary. Things that had happened during the day, or things that she was annoyed about, gets it off your chest. And then she's put all of those trials and tribulations, all the day's rubbish, to bed. Shut the book, and then she goes to sleep. Which really works for some people. I used to write a diary when I was younger, and it helped, I suppose. I don't really remember. But it does help to write down anything that's concerning you, to get that out of your brain and to put it to bed. Also to accept that whilst you're in bed, guys, you can't do anything about it. Unless you're going to physically get up and go and find that motorist that cut you up earlier, or get the hoover out and do that hoovering that you didn't actually do at 4 a.m, it's not really worth worrying about. It's not going to happen. So establish this good routine, even if it's maybe just a tiny bit of TV time. Just a regularity, and choose a regular bedtime. Going to bed too late is not productive either. I am a real night owl, so I tend to get distracted by TV, and TV is my worst enemy because they always put cartoons on late at night, and I like to watch cartoons. But we have to be a little disciplined with this. The practice of good sleep hygiene is really important. Good sleep hygiene can mean a fresher tomorrow, a better feeling fibro. It reduces stress hormones. And the stress hormones alone make fibromyalgia go whoosh. Really raises that up. It's not what we want. We don't want anxieties. We don't want stress. That causes tension in the muscles, more pain. Okay? Good sleep hygiene. Try it. Let me know how you get on, what your sleep routines are. I'd be really interested to know what different people do. Yeah, let me know. And let me know if you find it hard, because I do. Okay, I find it hard. The legendary Fibro trick finds it hard. It's very hard to change when you become an adult and you go, I go to bed whenever I feel tired. Well, that's not the case. It makes you worse. But good sleep hygiene, guys, is not the only thing for a guaranteed better sleep. Better. Maybe not good, but better. One important thing I have learnt over my lifetime. Men, women, empty your bladder before you go to bed. If anything is going to wake you up, it's that at silly o'clock in the morning. Then your sleep has been broken. Broken sleep is no good. Falling asleep on the sofa, guys, no good. Because you've got to wake up and go to bed. Broken sleep. Then your brain hasn't had time for this in-between. It's a little confused. It doesn't like that. It likes to go, not, wake up. No, doesn't like that. So, no broken sleep, which is really, really hard. If you're just going to go for a nap for a few hours or a couple of hours on the sofa, I don't know about you guys, but I can't nap for 20 minutes or an hour. I am out for 4 hours. Minimum. 4 hours. So getting into bed where you're more comfortable, theoretically more comfortable, is better than napping on the sofa. Try it out. Although my sofa on the Saturday afternoon seems incredibly comfortable. Really does. I sympathise with you all. Let's now talk about our sleeping environment. Our sleeping environment is also a key part of this good sleep hygiene practice. Let's have low light in the room before we go to bed. Low light really, really helps. It helps to calm everything down. Okay? A quiet environment. It's difficult if you live by busy main roads and things like that. I used to get woken up by yachts coming past when I lived on a very busy main road near Sunseeker. So it's silly o'clock in the morning when the house shakes. Yeah, I was awake. But try and maintain a calm, reasonably quiet environment. So if you've got your story tapes on your radio, not too loud, just a just audible volume. Sort out the snorer in your life, because if you're sleeping in the bed with somebody else and they are snoring and breathing heavily, you really want to hurt them when you can't sleep. So please explain that to them calmly. It may fall on deaf ears, but that also helps, just to take away that little distraction. Because although maybe somebody is not talking in their sleep, maybe they're not breathing really loudly, maybe they're not even snoring really loudly, but when you can't sleep, even the ticking of a clock drives you insane. Oh. So you're there in the middle of the night, kicking your partner to shut up. And then that's not good for them, that's not good for you. Address sleep issues. If you're the snorer, address that issue. There are things you can get from the chemist. You can ask your pharmacist to help you address those breathing issues at night, or talk to your doctor. We all need to breathe at night, and one of the biggest disruptions to adult sleep is breathing restrictions, snoring. Okay? So address that if that is one of the things that is concerning you. We've got to talk about comfort also. Your comfort is so important. My comfort is so important. I've had discussions on many of an occasion of how many pillows do you need? And my answer is until I find one that's comfy. So as many pillows as you need. I have memory foam pillow. I have an ordinary synthetic fibre foam pillow. I've got an old pillow that's very squished and a little hard. I've got a bolster cushion, which is this round, where is it? I'm going to get it. 2 seconds. Because I'm in my bedroom anyway. Just in case anybody doesn't know what a bolster cushion looks like, it's this, with my cover's a bit big. There we go. It's one of these. And it is brilliant. One, this little device can prop up pillows to make them wedge. Nice slanty angle when your neck's crook, because mine is quite a lot. Also, this little handy bolster pillow can go between your knees to create a cushioning effect. I suppose you've seen these ones on the telly, actually. They've been advertised with this weird shape. And they go in between your legs so that when you're lying down, you're square. Your hips don't sit square when you sleep. They don't sit squat. They one tilts inwards. Because we're straight, we're not this shaped. So when we're lying down, our legs on the other and we're on the side, that can create pressure in the hips and in the gluteal areas, and which it does for me. It's incredibly painful, and if you've got sciatica, incredibly painful. Yeah, brilliant. And this thing is not, this is not hundreds of pounds. Not hundreds of pounds. Yeah, they roll out during the night, but I fidget. Bolster cushion. Drop that on something. Also, as well as that, I have a funky shaped memory foam pillow. I've got to put it that way for you guys to see. This is what's it called? My sister gave this to me. So, thanks, Vic. Contoured pillow. Contoured. So when you're lying down, it gives you neck support. You could have it either way, to be fair. And it gives you neck support. That's what it's designed for. And it's memory foam, so it's just bounce back. Very easy to wash. But similarly, this can create a bit of a wedge shape underneath a regular pillow. Or if you've got a little bit of pain, you can lie this down in bed and have one of your legs here and one of your legs across here, just raising that up a little bit. So if you've got any sort of hip stability issues, yeah, great. So, and of course there are various cushions and blankets and yeah, so pillows. If you want a new pillow, get a new pillow. You want an old pillow, get an old pillow. You know, Monday, Tuesday, I'll be on one pillow. Wednesday, maybe I'll be on another. Thursday, maybe I'll be on another. It all depends on how you feel. My poor neck is knackered. And my chiropractor, she does a very good job at sorting it out. But it doesn't like bed. Doesn't seem to like lying down. So, comfort. If you need a hot water bottle in bed or an electric blanket for that little bit of extra warmth, there's all sorts of things about now, and there's beaded warmers, toys that warm up in the microwave, lavender cushions. Lavender can be a very helpful scent, so I've been told, for going to sleep and relaxing you, okay? So a little bit of that under the pillow, that's great for relaxation. But your overall comfort is paramount. Everybody's comfort is paramount. So you've got to keep yourself warm in bed, and you've got to keep yourself comfortable. If that means having 100 pillows, fine. If that means having blankets instead of quilts, feathers instead of synthetic, whatever works for you, but you must work on comfort. If you're not comfortable at night, you're going to sleep a whole lot worse, and your body is going to be stressed out to the max. So I always make sure I'm nice and comfy. I kind of semi-tuck myself in, because I get cold when I go to sleep and then I get warm later on. I make sure that the room is well ventilated, because you need fresh air to be coming in. I make sure the heating's off as well, because overheating makes you wake up, breaks your sleep. No good. And also frizzes up my hair. So, disadvantages all round, really. And I don't think I really do anything else for my sleep, apart from try not to think about it too much. I will say this about insomnia, though, because insomnia is a big thing we haven't touched on. What do you do if you can't sleep, if you're just there? Well, what I do if I can't sleep is not sit in bed or lie in bed doing my own head in. That is just rubbish. I have been there, I have done that. And all that does is keep you awake longer. It's absolutely non-productive. It's the worst thing you can do. Like I said, worrying about things that you can't do anything about at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning is fruitless. Don't worry. If you can't sleep, don't get frustrated. Frustration is just going to stimulate your brain and keep you awake for longer. Get up, use the toilet, make a cup of tea, not coffee, something decaf, maybe. read a book, have a walk around the house, take the dog out, anything that would not stimulate you too much, but maybe just take your mind off, I can't bloomin' sleep. So if I got insomnia, I get up, I make a cup of tea. I tend to watch some trashy videos on YouTube. Well, not trashy ones, actually. Well, yeah, sometimes trashy ones I find them funny. Anything to keep you moved. Old cartoons. I like to watch kids' cartoons from my childhood. You know, like Popeye and Betty Boop, Tom and Jerry, things like that. The Rugrats. Got insomnia. Put the Rugrats on. It's brilliant. It's kind of, for me, it's more relaxing because it stirs up that emotional connection with my childhood. Okay? Even though I say blue light is non-productive, yeah, that maybe helps, as long as you don't get into a circle of watching it for hours and hours. And then once you've done these things, or this thing, this little bit, you've been up for an hour, go back to bed. Try again. If you're in bed for half an hour, maybe an hour, you think it's like a million years you've been in bed and you're still not asleep, get up again. You know, do something else. Cup of tea, watch the depressing news, realise there is bugger all on telly, and apart from News 24, and go back to bed. Read a book for a bit. Put the lamp on in bed. But it isn't worth just sitting there. Insomnia is no good. If it gets too bad, you need to speak to your GP, to your doctor, your rheumatologist, your specialist. Insomnia is something that can be helped. Okay? Now, I know people don't want a lot of pills, okay? But if that's what it needs to just make that start, talk to them. They're there to help you. There may be a deeper underlying reason. Fibromyalgia does come with its level of insomnia, but it could be continuing because of your elevated stress levels for whatever reason. Work, the stress of fibro, stuff like that. But generally I have found that sleeping during the day doesn't affect my nighttime sleep. If I'm going to sleep at night, I'm going to sleep at night. So I wouldn't be concerned about trying to push yourself to the limits of sleep, where you're so exhausted, you feel dreadful. That you are the living dead, the walking dead, if you like. That's not life. Trying to force yourself. Go with it. Just go with it. Most of all, people, remember that whatever problems that you are having with your sleep, whether it's sleeping too much, sleeping not enough, can't sleep at night, only sleep during the day, can't get comfy, everybody is in the same boat, especially at the moment. And everybody with fibromyalgia is certainly in that little raft that you think you're in alone, in that big ocean. It may be a big ocean, but we're all on it together. Okay? So, work with it. And I hope this has really helped. If you've got any questions that you want to ask me about my particular sleep routines that maybe I haven't thought of, about any more advice I have for sleep, anything at all, if you just want to make a comment, drop it in the little boxes below. Please make sure you subscribe to my channel, and please tell all of your friends, because that is the only way that fibromyalgia is going to get known about and recognised, and it's the only way that we're going to reach more people with fibromyalgia to help them. We are a big community. There are a lot of young women, young men, older women, older men with this condition, and children as I've been finding out recently through research, it happens to children as well. So this world may be big, but fibromyalgia's not scary. Happy sleeping. Fibro check out.